welcome back to my channel Turkey Hot News. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe and click the bell to get notifications of our latest videos.
It's caught in the crossfire.
On the night of August 30th, the Israeli Air Force carried out a surprising large-scale attack and managed to hit targets in positions of the Syrian army. The Israeli attack took place south of Damascus, according to local sources and the Syrian national news agency Syrian. According to sources, Israel has struck several arms depots located near the airport in Damascus. There were 2 soldiers killed and 7 wounded in the attack. The aggressive attack came from Mount Hermon in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Syrian anti-aircraft gunners, who opened fire on air targets, managed to hit several enemy missiles, a source told Syrian. The Syrian army has Panzer C-1 mobile air defense systems and the S-300 anti-aircraft missile system. Both systems are Russian and some are believed to be located near Damascus to protect the capital. Given that the Russian Panzer C-1 had recently suffered serious damage, including from Turkish drones in Syria and Libya, the question of the effectiveness of the S-300 anti-aircraft missile system remains open, which is supposed to have no problems with interception of missiles. Of course, the participation of the Israeli F-35 stealth planes in the Israeli attack was possible. If so, the Russian S-300 system would not be able to intercept this fighter in Syrian airspace, as it does not have the radar and firepower of the Russian S-400. Russia has located S-400 systems, but they are mostly in a defensive shield around Russia's Khmeimim military base in Syria. There is hardly a week in which Israel strikes an airstrike on Syria. Very often these airstrikes are aimed at military bases in Hamas or Iran in Syria. But there are also cases in which the Israeli army decides to strike at Syrian army positions. Such was the case on August 4th this year, when the Israel Defense Forces launched a series of attacks on positions of Syrian government forces in southern Syria. The Israeli military command notes then that the strikes were carried out by combat aircraft and helicopters in response to an earlier attempted terrorist attack on the border between the countries. Official Syrian media report that no one has been killed as a result of these Israeli attacks. Earlier same-day night, Syrian media reported that the country's air defense forces were repelling air attacks in the Damascus area. It is assumed that Israel also conducted them. Earlier on Monday, August 3rd, the Israeli military killed 4 people who tried to plant explosive devices on the Syrian-Israeli border. In February, Turkey lost at least 62 troops killed in Syria, nearly 100 soldiers were wounded, dozens of Turkish armored vehicles were destroyed and more than 10 drones, including drone, were shot down. Washington has repeatedly accused Moscow of involvement in the deaths of Turkish soldiers. Russia rejects these allegations. In early March, the presidents of Russia and Turkey, Vladimir Putin and Recep Tayyip Erdogan, concluded an agreement according to which a ceasefire came into force in the Idlib de-escalation zone. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad later said that if the US and Turkish military did not leave the country, Damascus would be able to use force. The reason for the Russian-Turkish negotiations was a sharp aggravation of the situation in Idlib, where in January a large-scale offensive by the Syrian army against the positions of the armed opposition and terrorists began. Government forces recaptured nearly half of the Idlib de-escalation zone and left behind a number of Turkish observation posts. After that, Ankara sharply increased its military contingent in the region and launched the Operation Spring Shield to push the Syrian troops. Turkey is also supported by militants loyal to it.